The following video is not suitable for children. Please be advised.
He has to be shut down.
Bite my shiny metal ass.
This is going to be a Hunter Killer 1440 quickie. I'll tell you what I like, dislike, and questions and predictions. I'll keep this as short as possible so I can focus on how to fix Ninja Steel. There will be spoilers for this video, so spoiler alert. So what I liked about Beast Morphers would be the overall storyline and the arc. For example, it feels more creative in villain plots, like altering memories. I like the scheme of the villains. It's pretty cool on how the new Rangers receive their powers through morph-x. I also like how they address the weakness of the Rangers. I just wish we saw more of the Rangers' weaknesses hindering them in battle rather than just a handful of episodes. The interesting explanation on why the villains want the powers of the Morphin Grid rather than just Galvanax wants Ninja Steel for the sake of power is pretty clever. Evox needs the morph-x to escape the cyber dimensions. I'm so glad Evox look like a cobra, which matches Blaze's ranger costume. Speaking of Blaze, this is pretty interesting in having what's close to villain rangers of the season. I like how these characters were developed, and we are allowed to understand their motivations. I like how the monsters of the season were treated as glorified robot tools, and the avatars are the ones focused on being the villains. Certain times, I wish we saw of them succeeding, otherwise they're no different from Team Rocket.
Looks like Team Rocket's busting off again!
As we move on to characters, and the funniest comic relief award of post-Zordon Power Rangers history goes to... Steel. Sorry, Victor Monty. Steel is the funniest character in Power Rangers history. He's a great character and his jokes are actually funny.
Well, you're full of surprises.
Actually, I'm full of wires.
It's a pity that the other Beast Bots don't have as much screen time as Steel. Nate is the nerd that became the Ranger. I love the episode where he created Steel and showing his insecurities. He's very well developed and I wish we had more on him adjusting both jobs as being Ranger and Scientist, kinda like Miss Morgan. I have to say Rava is probably one of the best Blue Rangers. His character is depth. He is the big brother of the team, and honestly, he should have been the leader. Throughout this season, he shows that he's the one truly in control of the situation and has knowledge. It wasn't until because of his love, he broke protocol to save her, showing how desperate he was. In the episode at the beginning where he is competitive in winning the leadership role against Zoe felt out of character. When you compare it to the rest of the season, there was no character arc showing why he changed. It was just written differently in the future episode. Zoe is a pretty good role model-esque character without being a Marisu. She's likable and flawed and she's able to make up for it. Alright, brace yourselves. This is the part where I go off about my frustrations with what I did not like. Not enough Beast Bots. We rarely see the Rangers interacting with Beast Bots. There was only a few episodes dedicated to the Beast Bots and where we see the Rangers interacting with them. Alright, coming up, comic reliefs.
Looks like you could use an assistant with some real training.
But as an East Asian, I won't go social justice warrior, I'll just say you either have a balanced representation of a group of person or none at all. If it weren't for the comic relief representation of East Asian, I would have eased myself into Beast Morphers more comfortably. They should have just given the comic relief roles to Beast Bots. On this following section, it is about the unanswered questions and predictions of Beast Morphers. So my questions are, why can't they just make an army of Rangers rather than just a selected few? morph-x is virtually infinite energy. There are machines and equipments to create Rangers. The Rangers aren't required to continuously recharge their civilian powers. Zoe just needs to munch on a carrot. A civilian scientist, an aggressive karate kid, and a laundry girl can be Rangers. Why can't they make anyone else? This sort of makes the Rangers receiving their powers not that special. I'm glad they've addressed Steel has lightning striking in the bottle, because I would have argued why not build a bunch of robots? Why not build a bunch of Steel? Next, who made Evox? Evox throughout the entire show was just a random virus that came out of nowhere. Beast Morphers will probably pull a Dr. K. I wouldn't be surprised if the Evox was actually written by Boy Genius Nate, maybe his parents created it and something big happened and they're held in detention until they write an antivirus. Next. What is the cyber dimension and who created it? If they're just going to leave it as a random dimension coexisting to this one, then by that logic, with infinite dimensions to go to, it'll make more sense for Evox to just go to a possible dimension where the Rangers don't exist with the morphin energy available. I have a feeling that the cyber dimension is not a parallel dimension but just a pocket dimension used to trap Evox there. Overall, the season is great, looking forward to season 2. And don't worry, I am still writing how to fix Ninja Steel. It takes a while because I'm writing down a lot of ideas. Alright, thank you for watching. See you soon.